Hi guys, Happy New Year! It's a new year, so we thought it would be fitting to film a 25 questions video about us so that you can all get to know us a little better. We came up with 25 questions relating to us and about music, so let's just jump right in. My name is Jenna. I am 20 years old. I was born in Taipei, Taiwan. I moved to the US when I was almost 3, and I've lived here in Maryland ever since. I go to Boston University for school, so I live in Boston during the school year and I travel back to Maryland during breaks. I was about 4 years old when I started the cello. My mom actually picked out my instrument for me because I was too young to really know and decide for myself. But through learning the instrument with teachers and starting out in youth orchestra in 4th grade, I really started to love playing the cello. So I would say it's thanks to my mom and my wonderful teachers, as well as a great youth orchestra experience. I've had so many musical experiences that have been memorable to me, so it's really hard to just pick one. But if I were to pick one, I would have to say it is my competition experience when I was in 8th grade. It's a competition for the DC, Virginia, and Maryland area, and you compete with other string instruments as well as piano, I think is also a category, but you don't get compared to the pianists, of course. So I think I had a good experience because I had played really well and I've been able to perform in front of people in a performance that I was really proud of, and I felt good afterwards, and it was really rewarding as well as very enjoyable. And I think that's when I really started to feel like music gave me this sense of enjoyment, satisfaction, and success. And it was really encouraging to me when I was able to get this award. Although I have many favorite solo pieces, if I were to pick, say, a concerto, I would have to say Elgar Cello Concerto. That's my favorite concerto of all time, and my favorite recording of it is, well, I have two actually. I have one of Dupre, of course, that's really famous, as well as Yo-Yo Ma with the Chicago Symphony. Those are my two favorite recordings, and I really like the Elgar because of its like really rich colors, melodies, and the deep feeling that Elgar puts into the music. And I also had a lot of great memories, really high, happy memories, as well as like lower, like sadder memories that are also very important to my experience as a musician, as a person, while I was learning this piece. So that's what I would say for that. I have lots of favorite composers, but if I were to choose one, I have to say Bach. My favorite orchestra that I've seen perform live is the Boston Symphony. They are amazing and they are always so inspiring, and I love going to see them so much. My favorite cellist that I have ever seen live has to be Yo-Yo Ma. One of my biggest struggles being a cellist has to be carrying it around like everywhere. I mean, everywhere, like traveling, commuting, like just walking down the street. It gets heavy after a while too, and traveling with it, whether it's like flying or driving or just walking or taking like public transportation like buses, like subways slash metro slash the T train, it gets really inconvenient. So I think that's one thing I would say is a struggle for cellists, and you can watch Doris's video on when she's struggling to travel with her cello on the airplane. I think that is totally accurate, but there's so much more to it. But oh, it's definitely so worth it. It's just part of the process. Okay, I had to write this down because it's a longer answer, so I'm just gonna read it. The greatest thing about being a cellist for me is probably how the cello speaks and moves others. And I have really experienced that as I've played with other musicians and for other people, musicians or not. Music can really convey the deepest emotions, and it brings all kinds of people together, which I love. I have this really strong gag reflex when I get nervous before I perform or before something really serious for music. Usually when I have to perform, I get really nervous, but it has to be, like, I'm used to it and I'm able to cope. I just end up coughing a lot because of this gag reflex. So if you see me coughing before a concert, that's probably because I'm nervous. I'm not sick. I cough pretty loud too. Yeah, I get kind of shaky, and sometimes there's some cold sweat in the palms. Yeah, everyone has some kind of similar experience. But if you don't get nervous, like, that's great. You should be a performer. But for most of us, we get nervous. But that's part of being a musician. I would advise beginners to go to as many great concerts as you can when you get a chance. I think it's great to listen more to a lot of great musicians, good music when you're young, to inspire you, to help you grow, and to expand your knowledge of music, as well as expand your interest, hopefully. And I think that's a really good place to start. My favorite part of being in music school is being able to be with people who are from all different places and different nationalities, different ages, but we all come together for music, and we're able to share our music and our joy and love of music together at school. So it's really great to be surrounded by those people and to learn more about them, and music becomes a common thing that you start with, and then you expand that interest, and a lot of friendships and great connections are formed. My least favorite part about music school is that it's so busy. It keeps you so packed in terms of your schedule, and I feel like there's not enough time for anything. Because on top of all the classes, there's academic classes and classes where you have to play cello, and there's also concerts you're in that you have to perform, lessons, coachings, rehearsals, and practice time, and it's just really hard to manage your time. And even if you do, you still have that feeling of not having enough time for everything and to do well. So I wish there's just not enough time in a day. Although every practice session is very different, general structure I think my practice sessions have is first a warm-up. It could be a shorter one or a longer one. If I were to do everything I wanted to do in the warm-up, it would definitely include open strings, long notes, different types of bow strokes, slow, fast bows, different articulations, as well as a lot of shifting and vibrato exercises, scales, arpeggios, things like that. And then I would probably do a block and then work on other pieces, whether it's a concerto, sonatas, sometimes there's chamber music and orchestral excerpts, but definitely I really think that taking breaks between practice sessions is really important, so I do take a lot of breaks in between. My parents are very supportive of me being a musician, and they know how important that is to me. I really enjoy cooking and photography in my spare time. Although the future seems far, my dream is to become an orchestral musician as well as teach privately. My most favorite video that Doris made for our channel has to be the My Ultimate Nightmare recordings, because that is so funny to me and so relatable. I think she did such a great job, and I thought it was so funny to watch, and her reactions are great. The favorite video of us together that we filmed would probably be 5 Steps to Becoming Yo-Yo Ma. We really had a lot of fun together filming that in Boston, and we went to see his concert together with the BSO, where he played Don Quixote. Well, Doris is my best friend, and we've gone through so much together. We've been best friends for many years, and we're not always together. We started together, and then we were apart, and then we come back together. I see her maybe once a year, if not more, which is already really great, but we also video chat a lot and talk about our life, or make it a point to work on our videos, and then sometimes we visit each other or go places together and music festivals. One favorite memory of us, if I had to pick, would have to be one night when we were talking. I think it was the end of 2018. 2018? Yeah. It was the end of 2018 when we were video chatting and we are talking about these things that happened to us at school because we're at separate schools, and it just sounded so similar. There's so many similar things happening to us in that time period, and it was just really funny to us and super crazy. And pretty emotional too, and we thought that was really special, and we're like, see, that's why we're best friends. There's just so many things that we have in common, so many strange coincidences, you know? There is never a dull moment with Doris, whether we are together or apart. My goal for 2020 is to get stronger in terms of my physical well-being as well as my mental well-being, and it comes with patience, perseverance, and good planning. That's it for my 25 facts about me and Doris. I hope you guys were able to get to know us a little bit better in this video. Have a great start to the new year 2020, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye!